You want to know what's funny? Like, this entire console generation, I still haven't bought an Xbox One or a PS4. Like, I mean, obviously I have my leanings in regards to what console I want if I have the chance, but I've mostly just had a Wii U, and I've been very happy with it. Which is why I kind of freaked out a little when I saw a report yesterday that was talking about how the Wii U was gonna end production at the end of the year. Which is weird, because it's only been around for almost 4 years. Not even 4 years yet. Almost 4 years. Okay, so I read this report on VG247.com. It went up yesterday, March 22nd. That was talking about how the Wii U was gonna end production. Now, I tried to find a source website, but as it turned out, the source was Japanese, and I can't read that, so I had to take their word for it. I didn't know if it was an actual report or if it was some sort of rumor. Doesn't matter. Anyway, while I was trying to figure out the validity of this report, an article goes up today, March 23rd, talking about how that report was false. So basically, Nintendo came down, said, cut that out, and yeah, no, the whole Wii U thing ending production was a farce. But that got me thinking. What is the standard lifespan for a console nowadays? Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, standard lifespan for a console was roughly around 5 or 6 years, give or take. I believe that the lifespan between the PlayStation and the PS2 was about 5 years, around 1995. Don't quote me, I don't remember if the PS1 came out in 1995. And the PS2 came out in the year 2000, or late 1999. Let's say 5 or 4 years. And then the PS2, which came out in the year 2000, gets replaced by the PS3, which comes out around 2006? I want to say 2006. Yeah, 2006. There are obviously more examples, but pulling from this sample pool, I can say, you know, okay, 5 or 6 year average console lifespan. Now the problem is that the next generation of consoles, the Wii, the Xbox 360, the PS3, that completely skewered our entire perception of console generation lifespans, because that generation went on for a whopping 7 or 8 years. The Xbox 360 came out at the end of 2005, that one I know, because I worked at a Toys R Us when that thing came out. Like, that is the longest console generation lifespan that we've had, we've had, period. And a lot of people got used to that lifespan. They got used to having consoles that stayed around for a very long time, that got overwhelming support from their developers, and just this console generation lasted a while. So there's a lot of talk about whether the Wii U, the Xbox One, the PS4 are going to last as long as that one, or if they're going to revert back to what the average lifespan was and already start working on new consoles. The problem is with that thanks to the last generation of consoles, the way we handle game development and console support has changed. The reason why the last generation lasted as long as it did was economics, basically. The United States got into a bad depression around the mid-2000s. And because of that, our spending money was mostly gone. Most households were limited to having one console, maybe two, kind of like the 90s. And what do we remember the most about the early 90s as far as video game consoles go? Really, really intense competition. For obvious reasons, because obviously if people only have the money to have one console in their home, then they're going to want to make sure that that console counts. And the companies know this. The Xbox 360 and the PS3 were basically at each other's throats in the last console generation, and the Wii was just kind of there, and you know, you can pick it up if you want to. No one hated the Wii, but no one had the Wii as their first choice. People just bought it because they knew inevitably a Smash Brothers game was going to come out. But due to the socioeconomic environment of the United States around the mid-2000s, buying a console became a lot less viable, and most people restricted themselves to just buying one. Because of that, that console generation lasted for a long time, because it took a long time for developers and console manufacturers to actually see a profit. because, you know, people didn't have that much spending money. So yeah, that console generation lasted a very long time. It got a lot of support. There was a huge library of games for it. Man, my Xbox 360 game library is huge alone. I think my PS2 library is actually second to my Xbox 360 library, so take that as you will. But anyway, that brings me back to my point. Just how long do you guys think the current console generation is going to last? Because a lot of the reasons why the last console generation lasted as long as it did are still present. A lot of those reasons are still present. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I still haven't bought an Xbox One or a PS4 because I just don't have the money. The economy is not at a point where I can have the kind of spending money to buy every single console that comes out on a new console generation. And thanks to this report about the Wii U ending production at 2016, which was false. It was false. Remember that it was false. A lot of people are talking about whether the Nintendo NX is going to be Nintendo's next main console. Like, it's the next big thing. Like, the Wii U is done. The NX is next. Oh, the NX is next. Oh my god, I can't believe that. The marketing writes itself. A lot of people are wondering, are Microsoft and Sony going to create their own consoles to compete with the NX? Are they just going to push the Xbox One and the PS4 even more? What exactly is going to happen? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. So I wanted to make a video talking about it. I wanted to discuss it with you guys. And I want your input on this. Now keep in mind, I couldn't research every single thing that I talked about here, so I mean, if it sounds like I'm talking out of my ass, chances are I am. And if there's anything that I talked about that seems iffy, I urge you to research it and let me know that I'm wrong, because I would love to talk about this. I would like to hear more about this. I would like to hear opinions, because personally, I don't think the NX is going to end this generation of consoles. I think the Wii U is going to be just fine. I think the NX is Nintendo's next experiment into, because what we know about the NX is that it's going to be some sort of console handheld hybrid or something, right? Like, that's the one thing that I keep hearing about the NX. So I think the Wii U is going to keep going. Obviously, I mean, there are plenty of great games that are coming for the Wii U. Star Fox Zero is coming out. I'm hype as hell about that. The Zelda U game is going to be coming out after that, and I'm sure they're going to be making more games for the Wii U, more first-party games. Like, there's no way they're not. Not to mention, like, the Xbox One and the PS4 didn't have great launches. It's taken a while for both of those consoles to actually settle in. Like, I personally think the PS4 settled a little faster than the Xbox One. The Xbox One had more hurdles to jump through, to jump over, hoops to jump through, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's taken a while for those consoles to settle into their own rhythm as well. That makes me think that it's way too early to give up on this generation of consoles. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think? I mean, ultimately, we're the consumers. We're the ones that are going to be buying this console. The factors that determine whether we buy these consoles or not are going to determine whether these consoles are going to stick around or not. So, yes, tell me what you guys think about this. Leave a comment below. Talk to me about it. I look at pretty much every comment. If I don't comment back, it's because I can't think of anything to say. I don't know, I can't think of anything. But I do read every single comment. And I want to hear about this. I want to hear what you guys think. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Super Games Buster, and I'll see you guys later.